You get stale.
Popcorn.
You forget about things like stale.
Popcorn.
Stale popcorn.
Popcorn.
This is the
Stale popcorn.
Hello and welcome to another episode of the Stale Popcorn Podcast. I'm your host, Steven, and with me as always is my co-host. What did Merry and Pippin cook for Frodo when they were on Weathertop? Nice crispy bacon. How you doing, buddy?
Oh, well, let me tell you, when my time comes, forget the wrong that I've done. Steve out all the rest.
Is that a reference to Wicked?
No.
What's that from?
It's a Linkin Park song from their
sorry.
2007.
We're talking Wicked today, so that's what I had in mind. Sorry about that.
The only Wicked song I can remember, Unlimited, something, unlimited. I don't even know if they say unlimited.
Ooh.
It's just from the trailer. I've seen three times.
Sure. We'll get into it.
Yeah, I'm doing well, but...
Good on ya. Timestamps below if you want to skip around, take a jaunt to different topics. We're going to talk about some movie news. Chris, do you mind if I start off?
I don't mind. I'm feeling gracious today. We got off on the wrong foot last time. I'm trying to be a changed man. Last week I was wicked.
Fair enough. Well, starting off strong, Kraven the Hunter. You excited for that movie coming out?
Sure.
Kraven the Hunter director says spurned Sony Universe fans should, quote, give our film a chance.
Okay.
So, first of all, daring, I'd say, to suggest that Sony Universe had fans. But also, this news gets me really jazzed and gets me super excited. You know why?
Why?
Because I think to myself, how bad must the movie be where you got the director literally telling everyone, just give it a chance. Cap in hand, please come to us, just give it a chance.
Isn't that what Todd Phillips was saying about Joker 2?
Yes.
Or no, that was, and Francis Ford Coppola and Megalopolis. You just got to give it a chance.
Yeah, just give it a chance. I saw a comment on the post that said, what about my uncle? Did you give him a chance? that was pretty funny. Box office projected to be even lower than Morbius opening weekend, which that's rough if that's true.
Yes.
But I was thinking, I think I have a solution if Sony execs want to take notes, since I know they're listening here.
Yes.
Surefire way to get butts into seats. Simple as doing a Kraven Morbius double feature.
Ooh.
You bring back Morbius for a third time in theaters.
Mm-hmm.
And do a complimentary popcorn bucket.
Oh, yeah.
All the rage happening now.
No,
Guaranteed
I hear that.
To get butts in seats. So Sony execs, I know you're listening, and you guys can have that one for free. The next one's going to cost you, though.
They need to do a Kraven v. Morbius, a la Batman v. Superman or Freddy vs. Jason. That's what we're really needing here.
Oh, sure. That's to say if any of this is a success, which I don't think it will be. Gladiator 2, film we talked about last week. Curious to find out that someone else was considered to be playing the role of Lucius in the movie.
Ooh.
Do you want to take a guess who that might be?
Was it the actor of Lucius Malfoy?
No, that would be pretty good, actually.
Joaquin Phoenix? That yeah. Lucius?
No, Timothée Chalamet.
Oh.
Yeah.
Yeah. They look the same, except he's like 60 pounds of muscle thinner, if you know what I mean. But I thought the Mescal I thought he would be better than Chalamet for that role, if you ask me.
Oh, for definite. That's kind of a resounding agreement that even though Tim's a good guy, good actor, he just wouldn't fit that role.
Yeah. He's no Max's son.
Mm-hmm. The Rock.
Ooh. Rock.
There were some set photos of Moana live action. Did you see those?
I feel like I saw those like 6 months ago. Maybe I'm
there's
crazy.
Some new ones.
Oh, so he got hair?
He's got this long flowing hair. The Scorpion King is back. I'm pretty sure it's the same wig.
Yes.
Most people are raving about is he's wearing this big, thick, chunky muscle suit.
Ooh.
It looks very strange. You got the Rock's steroid muscles, and then you got his fake muscles on top of those muscles. It looks unnatural. Even normal Rock looks unnatural, but this even looks weirder. And I'm not here for it.
Yeah.
It looks weird.
I hear you there.
But speaking of Moana, not the live-action Moana, and not the first Moana.
Ooh.
We're
Let
talking
me guess.
the second
Moana 3, 4, what are we talking?
2.
Oh,
Dopes.
Okay.
Dwayne said on the topic of singing in theaters, he said, quote, "You've paid your hard-earned money for a ticket, so sing." And I want to get your opinion on that, Chris. Do you think it's Do you think it's fair? Do you think it's etiquette to do that in the theater?
I mean, they have like sing-alongs and such, don't they?
Yeah.
They'll do like the Greatest Showman sing-along. If it's one of those, sure, sing along. If it's got subtitles on the screen, I say it's free game. But no, what are you doing here, man?
Sure. Also, if you happen to find yourself in a like deaf screening where they got the subtitles, then go for it.
Yeah, I mean,
You know?
that's the
that's the only
totally
acceptable one.
appropriate. Yeah.
But yeah, if someone were to just start singing in the theater, I brought some sandwiches in the form of knuckles. If that happens
Yeah.
to me, let me tell you a thing or two.
Yeah, I hear you there.
What news you got for me, bud?
HBO stands by J.K. Rowling as it reboots Harry Potter on TV. Quote, J.K. Rowling has the right to express her personal views. We will remain focused on the development of the new series, which will only benefit from her involvement.
Benefit from that sweet, sweet green. You know what I'm saying? That's all they care about.
Yeah. She's like a pretty vocal feminist.
I think she's an anti-trans is her thing.
And I remember hearing about this because they did the 20-year reunion, I think a year ago or so. Do you remember this?
Yeah.
And they didn't even let her on, which I'm like, it's kind of crazy looking back that they didn't even have her on. Like, she built the universe, you know. It'd be like if they had a Game of Thrones something and didn't include George. Or I think the moral here for HBO is like, all right, there's a limit. You know, if it's gonna cost me X amount of money, hey, we don't care, man. Let's do this.
Yeah.
Wicked earned $164.2 million on its worldwide box office opening weekend. The film had a budget of $150 million.
Wow. Yeah, it's what did you say last week? They were anticipating like a big old $300 million weekend this week.
Yeah, so get a chunk of change, yeah, I'd say.
Yeah, I know everyone and their mom's talking about it online, and I heard it did like the biggest and best Monday in the November ever or something like that. It's breaking some records,
yeah.
but
I went on Monday and it was very sold out. Like I had to sit till it was crowded on all the showings.
Had to sit next to some guy you didn't want to talk to.
Yes, exactly. Except it wasn't a man; it was a woman. John Krasinski and Matthew Rice will star in Silent River for Prime Video. The series follows a small town discovering that a serial killer lives among them, all told through the lens of two men. Krasinski will direct multiple episodes of the series.
John's been busy over there at Amazon Prime with his Jack Ryan and Sexiest Undeserved Ex-Sexiest Man Alive award.
Yep, I'll never forgive him. Now that's someone I can get behind boycotting. That's a reason to hate of someone, if you ask me.
He's had his time in the sun. John, now it's time to step down.
Speaking of that,
Glenn's Corner, where I'm sitting in the corner looking at nothing but a picture of Glenn.
Glenn Powell announces that the winner of his lookalike contest today will earn a cameo in his next movie. Quote, I'm completely serious. This is cash value prize of $6 billion.
$6 billion?
He's being a little
funny. Cheeky.
He's being cheeky. He is.
Glenn.
But basically, he had a contest. All right, whoever looks most like me will fly your folks out and they'll cameo in my movie.
Will he be playing his younger brother or something?
I think it's the parents. It's not even that person. It's their parents going to be in the cameo. Because he was saying, like, he always has his parents cameo in the films. So he was like, I'm going to do this for a fan that looks like me.
I actually got this news from a fan, too.
Oh, really?
Shout out to Mitchell. He sent me this, and he's like, hey, this should be your next segment for Glenn Powell.
Well, why don't you read it then? Why don't you take the role here, buddy?
Okay, sorry.
In honor of Mitchell.
Glenn Powell Lookalike Contest draws hundreds to auditorium. Hundreds gathered on Sunday to crown Glenn Powell 2.0. The winner got $5, a cowboy hat, free queso from Torchy's for a year, and a thumbs up from the actor's mom.
That's all.
So
worth
it is worth
$6
billion, yeah.
Yeah.
I'm looking at a picture of the guy. If you're listening on YouTube, I'll throw a picture up here. But I mean, yeah, if you squint your eyes a little bit, you know, he can get away with his little brother.
Kinda. To me, Glenn's got a face that everyone's mother can love. You know.
Oh yeah.
Apples to oranges, if you ask me.
Sure. It says his real name is Maxwell Brownstein, a physician's assistant here in Austin. My face hasn't hurt like this since I was 10 at Disney World.
From smiling so
From
much?
smiling so much. That smile.
Wow, that smile. That's
that's
all I
funny.
got, Steve.
That's all I got, too. But I got a question for you, Chris. And that question is, what you been watching?
I saw one film. This is a film I saw as a kid. The Hot Chick. You ever seen this?
Is this the... Oh, no, I'm thinking of White Chicks. No, I haven't seen The Hot Chick.
That's a good one. This is a classic Rob Schneider, early 2000s. It's him and Rachel McAdams, and they pull a Freaky Friday and they switch bodies, and it's a chick flick.
I know what you're talking about.
The joke is that the hot chick is actually this gross looking Rob Schneider.
Rob Schneider, yeah.
It is fine. I remember thinking it was funnier as like a 10-year-old. It's one of those.
Yeah.
I think it's one of those Happy Madison, Adam Sandler's in it. It's got a bunch of random actors like Anna Faris and Sandler, all these people. But it wasn't bad. I probably won't watch it again anytime soon, but I'll stand up, give that like a minute. Standing O.
Is it problematic? Would it be problematic in today's climate?
Oh, yeah. I mean, probably so, but
Lots of gay jokes, probably.
Yes, lots of gay jokes. You got an Asian lady saying the N-word. Probably won't get that today. But yeah, a little racy and all that. Some of it's funny. I think it's for the teenagers, How about you, Steve? You watching anything?
I actually haven't watched anything. I've started a couple things, but I'll wait till... I started a show on Netflix per one of our buddies' request. Shout out to Preston. So I'll wait maybe next week to report on that. But yeah, I've been super busy, just bogged down with life in general, You know what I'm saying? So I'll report next week with a couple few things. Do you want to just dive in?
Let's
first.
Let's get through this.
We're talking Wicked, and not the John kind. So we're just going to talk about some basic plot details and no spoilers in this section, some thoughts, whether or not we recommend it, and then when it's time, we'll tell this was the spoiler section. We'll go from there. But Christopher, no spoilies. You want to give us a basic plot breakdown of this?
I don't know what's really a spoiler or not. It's a prequel to Wizard of Oz. Is that a spoiler? Because, I kind of learned that in the movie.
Yeah.
I didn't know that.
Oh, okay.
No, I was just like, hang on a second. I kind of picked up a few things, and I was like, I think I did hear about this, but for some reason it just didn't register. But yeah, it's a prequel. You got the Wicked Witch lady, whatever her name is. Wicked? Is that her name? Elphaba.
Her name's Wicked the Elphaba, or Alpha the Wicked.
Alpha. And then you got Ariana Grande is the Pink Princess. Galinda.
Or Glinda, as she...
Glinda.
The artist formerly known as Galinda.
Peter Dinklage is a goat. You got Michelle Yeoh is a magician, McGonagall type lady. Oz is Jeff Goldblum. And she goes to some college, and then she goes and sees Oz, and what's gonna happen? I don't know.
That's pretty, yeah. It's those who have seen the trailer don't know anything about it. Can't really spoil much. It's just like Elphaba is a green witch, or I guess a green person. She didn't turn into a witch till later. You're gonna find out very quickly that we do not know anything what we're talking about here.
Yeah,
we're not familiar with the lore. Embarrassingly enough, I barely watched The Wizard of Oz as a kid. I was forced to watch The Wiz in middle school. You ever see The Wiz?
Is that a show?
It's a black version of The Wizard of Oz.
Oh.
With Michael Jackson.
No, I did not.
The only other thing I know about The Wizard of Oz is that meme where it's like, she wore a crown and came down on a bubble, dog.
Oh, yeah. Yeah. Is that Wizard of Oz? Or that's this show, Wicked, isn't it?
Yeah, I think it could be
either
both,
one.
Because, yeah.
Yeah. She was a witch.
Yeah. Hold on.
Grow up. Yeah.
Yeah, so it's safe to say that neither of us really have skin in the game.
Yeah.
So I went in pretty blind. It sounds like you went in pretty blind.
Well, I'd seen Wizard of Oz. Did you have music class in like
Yeah.
elementary school.
Mm-hmm.
We'd have it like once a month or every other week or something on a Tuesday for an hour. And I swear every time the music teacher was just like, she just put on Wizard of Oz every time. So I've seen it like dozens of times as a kid, but it's been 20 years.
Sure.
So I kind of remember it. It's been a while, but yeah, as far as this goes, without spoiling, let me just say I'm not a musical guy. Wasn't excited to watch it. I didn't want to watch it. I saw the runtime was like 3 hours. I'm like, all right, I really don't want to do it. But the fans voted and we suffered, or maybe Steve loved it. Who knows? But I did it for you. I'm not the audience. I didn't like it. When I came into the movies, and I show the person my ticket, and she's like, "Oh, you excited for the movie?" And I was just like, "Nah, not really." And she just kind of looked at me weird, and she was like, "You watched the play?" And I'm like, "No." And she's like, kind of gave me this weird look, like, why are you here? And then I didn't want to be like, well, I mean, actually, I'm doing a podcast, blah, blah, blah. So I was just like, my wife told me to watch it. I think that was the most shocking, that I had a wife. Like, I think she just thought I was a gay guy excited to watch Wicked. And
yeah, because who watches Wicked alone? By
I know, yeah, which, like, I don't blame her at all. But yeah, I'm not the target audience, so I'm going to go through this as just probably a typical person that's not really into musicals, doesn't really care about it, not what do they call it? Is there Grande fans? Like you have Swifties. Are they like, don't say Grandes? What are we talking? What are they called?
Grandenites.
Oh, yeah. I'm not an Aryan.
Yeah.
So me, I boo. I stand up, I boo for like 6 minutes. How about you, Steve?
Fair enough. Well, Chris, I got to tell you, I am a fag.
Oh.
A fan about Glenda. Let me tell you, buddy, this was firing on all cylinders. I loved it. Absolutely loved it. I thought it was just amazing. I am, of course, absolutely yanking your chain.
Yeah.
Cranking your shafter.
Yanking my chain. My chain was to the floor. I knew this was a bit. You're not a fan of Glenda.
Not at all.
You're a big, idle, total, caring horse. Okay.
No, I think, just like Red 1, we're not the target audience for this, but I watched it with someone who is the target audience of this, that being a woman.
Oh, I thought you were saying
wife.
your gay friend.
Oh, no. He was busy.
Sorry.
But yeah, my wife and I watched this, and we were in the same boat. She just wasn't feeling it. I wasn't feeling it. Got no skin in the game. So I feel like it's really for specific people who are big fans of not only musicals, but this musical. Because there's little nods and cues where you're like, oh, that's from, the thing.
That's the thing.
Yeah. And I was like, eyes squinting a little bit at parts where I was like, I can't grab onto much here. There are some good things in here. I had some more pros than I thought I would. But I'm going to get some flack with this part, but I likened it when you're with your daughter and you put on Barbie's Dream House or something, and it's kind of just for your kid to watch, and you're like, that's kind of the same feeling I got where it's like, things are happening, it's bright colors happening, and you're about only as vested as your kid is, and once she's not invested, you turn it off type deal.
Yeah.
That's how I could describe it.
I couldn't turn it off.
Yeah. But yeah, if you're a musical guy or gal, and if you're really big fans of the musical, then you'll probably like it. But yeah, it just wasn't. It just wasn't for me.
Same.
I'd probably give it. What did you say? You're booing?
I booed for 6 minutes. How about you?
Oh wow! So you hated it?
Yes.
Or pretty? Yeah. Jeez, I'll probably just be silent and get up. No claps.
Oh, nothing. I think if it was an hour 40, you could get me a silent, but it's almost 3 hours long, and I feel like nothing really happens, and it's just unnecessarily long. I do have some pros that I'll get into more when we go in the spoilers and all that, but it was just
Or do you want to dive into some spoilers then?
Let's dive in.
All right, we'll talk about some cons and then end on some high notes. Number one, chief of which I'll agree right with you. Too long.
Ugh.
It's egregious. And not only that,
2
it's
hours,
a part
40
one.
minutes.
Yeah.
Part 1.
I mean, come on.
And I looked it up because I was curious, because I'm like, the stage play, I assume they just have it over and done with, the stage play.
I mean, they probably have a 10-minute intermission or something.
I know, but it's not going to end where the movie ends, right? Since this movie's a part 1. Guess how long the stage play is?
4 hours?
2.5 hours. So it's
wow.
shorter than part 1.
So they really added some extras on here.
I think the spacing kind of bugs me because the part that's more interesting is like, oh, actually going, meeting Oz and all that.
Mm-hmm.
And that's like the last 40 minutes of the movie. They spend 2 hours of them just like, oh, she's going to school. Oh, they're going to a prom thing. Oh, and it's just like it drags on so long where I'm like, you don't need to do a 5-minute song for like, oh, she's happy. Oh, let's do another 5-minute song because she wants to look pretty. Oh, let's do another. I'm like, I mean, there's a lot of songs, believe it or not.
I believe it. Oh, yeah. Oh, geez. One of the things that I thought I would be more open to, more optimistic about, was actually the musical aspect. I love me some musicals, actually. I like my musicals with Hugh Jackman and Zac Efron.
Same.
Or if they're Austrian kids running from Nazis, you know what I mean? This one, it just wasn't, I don't know. The kind of music wasn't there. I hate singing musicals where it's like, I'm talking and then I'm singing and then I'm going back to talking. I'm like, just pick one. Also, we've established I'm a degenerate and have a smooth brain, but a lot of the melodies were like hard to follow, you know, and it's hard to like get into them, you know.
Well, and I couldn't understand a lot of the words they're singing with their high-pitched stiletto, giletto, falsetto, whatever you call it. Yeah. It's like, I don't know what they're saying, and I don't really care enough to.
Yeah, that's another con I had. Like, the first musical, just right off the bat, I was like, I don't know what anyone's saying. And I think people benefit if you've listened to these songs years and years, you can, you know, pick up. And same thing actually with Encanto, the first time I saw it. When the first song hit, I'm like, I don't know what anyone's saying, but at least I'm having a good time because it's a funky groove, you know? Yeah. This one, no funky groove. I don't know what anyone's saying. I was like, all right, we're not starting off strong here. And, you know, just like John Locke, I was lost. Let me tell you. Also, I don't know if it was my theater thing or your theater thing, but it was quite jarring when, like, they would be talking and then they'd start singing. The sound was, like, completely different, like, very auto-tuned. And it was, like, kind of took me out because, like, they would just be talking and then, like, a crazy amplification of their voices, like, you know, and then it would go back to talking and then go back. Pick a lane, people, you know?
I think Greatest Showman did it right, because...
Oh, yeah.
Because they have like 10, 11 songs, but they space it out where it's not like a song every other minute. It's like, we're going to do this song and it's going to progress the story here, and it's a banger. They got the great choreography. This one I felt like way too many songs.
Oh yeah.
And a lot, like you're saying, like it's just like a dialogue song where I'm like, this would be better with just dialogue. But at least it wasn't like a Les Mis where it's just singing the whole time, because to me Les Mis is a hard watch, but that Les Mis at least has like good songs that I'll remember. I had a dream of time gone by. You know, like all these, like, who am I? But this one, I couldn't. Normally when you're watching, you're like, oh, this song's going to be stuck in my head for some time. I'm like, I can't remember any songs except kind of the melody of the one that's in the trailer I've seen like 20 times. Unlimited Day. The songs weren't that good.
You are notoriously not a fan of prequels, and I felt this one.
Yes.
This one really opened my eyes because some things in prequels you don't need over explanations for, where it's like, hey, for those who are wondering how she got her hat, this is how she got her hat. For those wondering how she got her broom, turns out it was just lying in a corner. You know, it's like, I don't need explanations on every single thing. It doesn't work for me. Even in The Hobbit, my favorite franchise, Lord of the Rings, I didn't even like it when The Hobbit did it. So it's like, I don't like that, you know, Solo, where it's like, where'd you get your last name, Solo? I don't like it.
Or like Rings of Power, where he's like, you mean to be the Lord of the Rings? I'm like, I would have never known that's why they call it that. Yeah, I know what you mean.
Stuff like that, I'm just not a fan of. I don't need to know how the monkeys got their wings or whatever. Not the target audience, got to remember. So maybe the theater nerds who are creaming it in their jeans, they're like, I'm glad they showed the monkeys. You know,
that song was integral to know how exactly she's feeling. That she has a crush on a boy. I would have never been able to know if she didn't sing 5 minutes about it and creep on him.
Yeah. What else you get? What other cons you got?
I think those are my main cons, but I do got a couple pros, unless you want to.
I got some pros too, yeah.
I will say songs, not a fan, but choreography was good. Like there's some parts where I'm like, that was cool. Like, yeah, I wish the song was better so I could get more into it, but you could tell they spent a lot of time really getting in that dancing.
Mm-hmm.
My audience was into it. So, like, I know I'm the outlier. Theater's full. People are laughing. They're having a jolly old time. It was basically me, and there was some mom brought their, like, 9-year-old son. I'm guessing she couldn't find a babysitter, so she dragged him along. And he's
We've all been there.
yeah, he's talking throughout it. It'd be like, why are they doing this? And he's like, do you actually like, I could just hear him talking, like, do you actually like this? Like, are you serious? Why? This is stupid, you know? And I'm like, I'm thinking the same exact things, like, in my head. And I'm like, I'm glad this kid's voicing it, so I don't have to. But
same thought process as of a 9-year-old.
Yeah. Yeah. But besides us two, I mean, the people loved it. They're laughing at there was a couple times I think I chuckled a little. I thought they had the Asian gay friend.
Mm-hmm.
He was kind of funny to me. He was probably my favorite character in it.
Oh yeah.
I will say I didn't like the movie. Well established.
Mm-hmm.
But the Wizard of Oz, the plot of that basically is like Dorothy goes tornado sucked up in the house, goes to Oz. And I think her house crushes the Wicked Witch of the East, which is the crippled sister. I don't know. Do you care if I think so, because that's how Dorothy gets her shoes. She takes them off the dead witch's body. And then later in the movie, she meets Courage the Cowardly Lion, which I think is maybe that little lion pup. Was that a lion that they save? I think that might be Courage. Okay. And she gets her tin foil. And then at the end, it's like, if I remember, the witch is going to murder Dorothy. And she's like, I'll give you an hour to live. And then Dorothy ends up throwing water on her, killing her. And then, leaves from Oz. Saying all this, I'm like, in this movie, it seems like the witch is good, right? Like, she cares about
or like a sympathetic. Yeah, there's more to her than what we saw in the
and then,
Wizard of Oz.
You wouldn't think the crippled sister is, like, evil. But in the Wizard of Oz, like, she dies and the town folk are, like, singing like ding dong, the witches,
Yeah.
I'm like, to me, I'm more interested in like, show me her like Anakin killing the younglings arc. Like, when's that coming? Because she goes full wicked sometime, and they don't really show it. Because in this movie, it's like she cares about the animals, and she like feels bad. She creates the flying monkeys, and she's like, "Oh no, I'm hurting them." But from my memory of Wizard of Oz, like when she dies, the flying monkeys are like, "Whew, thank you. I don't have to serve this evil woman." Where this whole thing is like she loves animals. Her one wish is to like save the animals. So I just want to know, did someone sneak up into her ear and say, "You ever hear the tragedy of Darth Plagueis the Wise?" I thought
it's not destroy the Jedi would kill you.
Yeah. That's like what I'm more interested in.
Yeah.
Which they are making a sequel, and it comes out next year. So I'll give that as a positive. Because I'll be honest, I didn't like this, but if they were both back to back, I might just watch the second, just because I was like, I want to see like what's going to happen. Like, I want to see her Darth thing.
Yeah,
and
I'm right there with you.
Yeah, I'm curious how it goes, and like maybe I'm just like a masochist. I'm just like but I'm really curious. So like, part of me wants to watch the second one. Saying after all this trash, like that's a pretty good positive, I'd say.
Yeah, fair enough. Yeah, I have one that's positive that's lightly veiled as a negative. The main girl, Cynthia, I forget her last name.
Erivo.
Yes, she did really good. Her acting was really good because I was watching the interviews and the marketing for this. And in real life, she is a weirdo.
Oh, yeah.
Her and Ariana Grande. I sent you a video so we could talk about it, but it's like, this is weird. Like,
yeah,
maybe it appeals to the theater nerds, but us normal people, us 9-to-5ers, watch something like that, and we're like, is this normal behavior? Is this how everyone is over there? It's just like super weird. Compliment sandwich here, going back. She did a good job acting like she was like a normal person.
She's normaler in the movie than she is in real life. Is that what you're saying, Steve?
Yeah, exactly. But kind of piggybacking off of your pro, the set design and costumes I thought were really good, really cool. They had a lot of cool details. I love seeing practical sets. I love not all of them are practical. Some CG or whatever, but for the most part, the library was really cool. They got that spinning library. It totally impractical, but still fun. The costumes are really cool. Question about the costumes, now that I think about it. Are the uniforms mandatory for everyone except the hot people?
Except the two, yeah, the three people.
Yeah.
I guess not.
Yeah, I don't know. But yeah, I thought that was really cool. And then singing, technically good, but I didn't really like it. The melodies, but they're all, very good. I can appreciate good singer when I see one, right?
Mm.
And that goes into my main pro, which was the last 10 minutes was actually pretty cool. Not even going to lie. I liked it. That part where she does the...
Yes.
Yeah. I was like, okay, I got a little Jake Peralta chills, just a little bit, you know?
Yeah.
I thought it was cool. That's the main song that I think everyone, or at least us plebs down here, know. And the whole time, because I've never seen it, I just know that little riff. The whole time I was waiting, I was like, when's it going to come? And then had to wait till the 2 hour and 39 minute mark for it to finally pop up. When it did, I was like, okay, all right, I'm vibing a little bit. And then it ended.
Yeah.
So,
I was looking up the director, John Chu. He's got...
Is he Crazy Rich Asians?
He is Crazy Rich Asians.
Yes. Good movie.
It's a good movie. Like his starting directorial, Step Up 2.
Oh,
then
is that with Channing?
Yep. Well, I don't think he's in the second one. He's in the first.
Oh, okay.
And then he did Step Up 3D. I saw that one. Then he goes G.I. Joe, Retaliation.
Oh, he's responsible for that. Okay.
Yeah. And then he goes Now You See Me Too. Then goes Crazy Rich. Does the In the Heights. It's just funny to me. I'm like, he does all these musicals and then just like G.I. Joe and Now You See Me Too. And it's just, he's got quite the range. But no, that's about all the pros I got, Steve. You got anything else?
I don't think so. I think our target audience, as dudes, us men of culture, I think it's only fair. If you dragged your wife to Gladiator 2, then she's got to drag you to this, That's fair, that sounds fair.
Well, my wife, she saw Gladiator 2. She came home. She said it was hands down best movie of the year.
Really?
And then she came home, watched Moana 2, and she's a real Disney nut. She comes home, worst movie of the year. Don't see it. She hated it. So
unfortunately, that's not the first time I've heard that sentiment about that movie.
Oh, really?
I have not heard very good things. We had talked about maybe seeing it, but I think I'm busy.
Yeah. Well, Wicked. Do you want to guess the Rotten Tomatoes?
Oh, okay. Audience, probably like a 92, pretty high. And then critics, probably high 80s or 89.
Critics, 90. Audience, 96.
Oh, boy.
So it's one of the certified hot audience, the new thing they're doing. So
I will give it this.
Love it.
It's, I think it's had some cultural impact. People will be talking about it online. Honestly, a smart move to split into two because people will be like, I got to watch part 2. So we were skeptical, but it sounds like it's just doing great on all accords. And I don't know if there's, 3 big movies to choose from this weekend. Well, by the time this comes out, the weekend will pass, but I'd say Gladiator would be.
Gotta go.
It's a fun watch for the whole family, if I'm being honest.
That's one you could take your 9-year-old son to and he'd enjoy.
Oh, yeah. But I think that's all I got.
Yeah, same
concerning
here.
the film. If you listen this far, thanks. Let us know if you want us to watch anything next week. I don't think we have anything on the books, but maybe we'll do a poll or something. Where can they follow us, Chris?
Follow us on Tinder, on Hinge, on Unhinged, on Farmers Market, Facebook Marketplace. We're talking bloody Craigslist, YouTube, Kahoot,
coolmathgames.com. We're there.
Addicting Games, RuneScape.
Do you remember stupidvideos.com?
Oh, yeah, Stupid Videos.
That was before YouTube.
I remember that.
To our audience who's younger than 30, they before YouTube is just a stream of endless videos that just play randomly. No search bars or anything.
Oh.
It's like, here you go. Here's some videos.
Find me on homestarrunner.com.
Ooh, yeah. That's a good one.
I'm on a female.
What more do they want?
I said consummate V's.
You did a great cheer over there, Homestar. Oh, maybe we'll do an episode on Homestar Runner.
Revisit those.
Yeah. Oh, that's
All
good
right.
stuff.
Well,
All right.
Thanks for listening. Have a good week.
Bye.
You forget about things like stale.
Popcorn, stale popcorn.
Popcorn.
This is the
Stale popcorn.
Popcorn?
I saw the sun begin to dim and felt that winter wind blow cold. A man learns who is there for him when the glitter fades and the warmth won't hold. 'Cause from then rubble, what remains can only be what's true. If all was lost, there's more I gained, 'cause it led me back to you. I drank champagne with kings and queens. The politicians praised my name. But those were someone else's dreams, the pitfalls of the man I became. For years and years, I chased their cheers, the crazy speed of always needing more. But when I stop and see you here, I remember who all this was for.
Stop that. You're not going into a song while I'm here.